Hello, Josh. What brought you in today?
Food, dinner,
Okay.
a lot of money towards eating out, and a desire
Okay.
essentially to cut back and probably start eating more at the house.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, what made you want to start eating at the house more?
I recently got on a money budgeting app and trying to take my finances more seriously. Had a gut punch seeing how much I spent on food and dining, most particularly eating out, because I just know I go out an overwhelmingly amount.
Okay. Okay. So money is a big motivator. You're saying that you spend a lot going out and you want to try to reduce those costs to fit your budget.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a good step. It's definitely according to the statistics, what I spend most of my money, the majority of my money on, or at least it's my biggest expense. And just from obvious financial talk, and just from common sense, it's the easiest thing to cut out, which is dining out. Because ultimately, it's not like I'm time crunched and have kids and have a place to be every other minute. I have time to prep food and everything, so it's really just on me, and it's a me choice to go for convenience over consistency with what I want.
Okay. So, in reviewing your budget, you notice a big place you can change is where you're eating out. Like you're spending more in that category than you think you should.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying you feel capable to cook more at home because you say you do have the time to do so. And basically you value what do you value that made you want to eat out?
I've been in the restaurant industry for almost a decade now, so I was even having a conversation with someone the other day about it and just said, like, I remember when I first started working there, like, I just didn't want to wait on people when I was on my off day. I wanted to be waited on my off day because I spent 6 days a week waiting on others. So,
sorry, my therapy cat can be distracting.
No, she's a good girl though. But yeah, so I think it's just kind of my profession is to wait on others.
Yeah.
So I think I enjoy the experience of going out and not having to work at a place where I wait tables. And then just good food. I love good food, and ultimately, like I said, the convenience of it's very nice. Like all of us fall into that trap. Like we get a little lazy. We don't want to cook, and we don't want to clean. Mm-hmm. So by going out to eat, you don't have to do either.
Yeah.
I could go home and just crash. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason you were going out was because you enjoy being waited on after waiting on others for most of your week.
That's part of it, yes.
And as well as time, it does save you time to be able to go out and not worry about cleaning and cooking and buying the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
And so those two things you do value.
Right.
And that's what's kind of kept you from acting in that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like cooking, something I really want to learn how to do, but also it just annoys me because, like I just don't know. I feel like I don't have any confidence with it. And, it's a lot of work. You got to cook and clean and
yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That is the complete opposite of the value you just pointed out.
Right. Yeah.
So with, back to your budget is a value. Saving money is a value to you too. Are there any other ways cooking at home can connect to your values and what you care about, what matters to you?
Yeah, definitely eating rather healthy, I don't like to necessarily eat like crap, and but I also don't want to eat chicken and rice all the time, salmon and stuff. You know, I feel like I only really know how to cook a certain amount of things right now, so it's a lot of work to learn how to cook other new stuff, and I don't want to waste that then or ruin it or burn it.
Yeah.
So there's just that fear, you know.
Yeah.
Not only do I not want to go get the groceries, but I don't know like what to get most of the time, and
okay.
you know, so there's just a bit of a lag there, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I like to eat healthy, so. But it's hard for me to like create healthy foods at home when I could go out to a restaurant and get exactly what I want, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the money is one value that's connected to cooking at home. And you mentioned cooking healthier. What made you say that? What makes you feel like cooking at home makes you eat healthier?
Guess just control portions, know what's in it, know how much butter's in it, oil.
Yeah.
You know, to track if I ever wanted to track.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, just the quality of the ingredients.
Okay. So on the one hand, you can order something at a restaurant that says it's healthy and it tells you the exact calories. But on the other hand, you don't really know how much butter or like saturated fats or other kind of ingredients they're throwing in there that you can't see.
Right.
While if you cook at home, you know exactly the portions of certain additives that you're putting into it. You know, if you're putting added sugars, things like that in your meal.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically you're saying like you kind of have more control of how healthy the thing is at home, and that's connected to what you care about, which is taking care of your body and what you put in your body, and that contributes to your health.
I'd say so.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Is there any other values cooking at home? So yeah, I would save you money, definitely be easier to be healthier. We've identified that. Anything else that comes to mind?
I'd say just skill. You know,
okay.
Like the skill of knowing how to cook, being resourceful, being able to whip up some good food, and knowing your way around the kitchen and how to use certain tools and how to make a roux, and you know, being a good cook. Just being a good cook, I think everyone appreciates that, and it's a lifelong skill, and it's something I always look up to others who know how to cook. But it's something I'm insecure about. So you know, there's that gap of like fear and insecurity.
Yes.
Especially because like I know good ass cooks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when people just are able to just do it,
yeah,
and I feel like I have to do like I'm still a baby, like an infant into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes me discouraged. So there's a little bit of like resentment towards what I don't know and the fact that I don't know how to do much in a kitchen.
Yeah.
So a little bit of fear, I'd say.
Okay. Well, I think that's really insightful, because what I'm hearing from you is that you have that fear, but also knowing how to address that fear. A lot of those emotions can come from the unknown. And so you mentioned, like, yeah, it's a skill I have to develop. And to develop a skill is through practice and experience. And it sounds like you know that's kind of how you can address that uncomfortability, the fear in the long term. Is there anything you can think of that you've done in the past that was uncomfortable? Anything that made it a little less or a little more inviting to, you know, start to try out, and something that made developing a new skill a little less scary initially, just to get your foot in the door?
Yeah, I mean, I think of like, just because we're on the topic, like cooking in the past, like there's been a few instances where like I learned a skill in cooking that made me way more confident.
Okay.
And it kind of led to one thing, like, I don't know, it helped the morale for sure. Like I once found like a Chipotle chicken recipe, like similar to Chipotle. And the first time I did it, it took forever.
Yeah.
Forever, and it had so much cleanup.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it was just a lot of work from like searing it and everything to whatever. But but I kept doing it, 7th time doing it, I had it down to like being like a 20-minute process because I knew exactly how to make the sauce. I didn't even have to look at the measurements anymore. I could eyeball those. I knew how much more to put in more than the recipe. Like I definitely gained confidence. Like I realized you didn't need a deep sear on the chicken.
Okay.
Like, I just got good at making that one dish, and even just knowing one dish made me have a go-to. You know what I mean? And like, it felt convenient because I know exactly how to do it. I knew exactly what things I needed. And so, yeah, just like creating that kind of enthusiasm definitely was that through cooking once. And
okay.
I don't really remember the recipe anymore because I quit doing it, but
yeah,
it was a moment where I did something that like kind of struck a chord, and I had to overcome like the first 2 or 3 times doing it being a long process and dirty, and I didn't get it exactly right, but I did optimize it, and then it became pretty easy.
Okay. Yeah. So, what do you remember? Do you remember what that learning that skill? Because you built that skill with that recipe. Do you remember what learning that skill did for your life in that moment?
It pissed me off a little bit in the moment.
yeah.
Like the first time.
Yeah, the first time.
But I was proud of it when I was done.
Yeah. Like the aftermath. So getting through those uncomfortable initial emotions and eventually like seeing yourself doing it with more ease. When you got to that point, how did that change your life? Like creating that recipe, what did it do?
Yeah, it made me feel capable. I knew my way around the kitchen for a moment. You know what I mean? Like I might not be a good cook, but I did know how to make this pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just gave me confidence. I'd say was the main thing.
Gave you confidence. Awesome.
And to maybe like, I don't think I moved forward with many other recipes, but I think I made a pot roast too, which was easy. That was a crock pot meal, but you know, it made me look at the roast, and sear it, and I ended up making a crock pot roast, and it was really good.
Oh,
I realized how simple it was with a crock pot. So
okay, and as you were learning that recipe, for that 7th time, do you feel like you saved time in general?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, if you were to technically put it as in like going to Chipotle 7 times compared to making that one time, because I make enough chicken for a Chipotle bowl in that one time.
Yeah.
It would have been way faster for me to just make it by the 7th time doing it because I was so fast at doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, that connects me back to the value you said going out gave you, that you connect, that you're now connecting to this new goal that you have, which is really powerful, and just goes to show that there's potential in connecting the values you found from going out to this newfound interest of yours on top of addressing the values of saving money and learning a new skill.
Right.
So what is one action step you think you could take towards this goal?
Just trying something new.
Okay.
Making something I've never made before.
Okay. Like the Chipotle recipe at one point. Okay.
Yeah.
What's a recipe that excites you?
I love biscuits and gravy when I go out to eat.
Okay.
So maybe learning how to make like a gravy from scratch, because like the idea of scratch made stuff, like I can heat up a Bob Evans country gravy packet, but being able to like just make a gravy, because my dad makes good gravy, and there it is. There's another one right there, like having him show me how to make his gravy.
Oh yeah.
That way I can hang out with him and learn something, but because then once I do that once, then hopefully it turns into the Chipotle thing, where once I make gravy the 10th time, I make kick-ass gravy.
Yeah.
And now, like, all I need is a little bit of heavy cream and flour and chicken and turkey and sausage, and I can cook a really good gravy that my parents can enjoy and my kids one day can enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say just making one thing that maybe I haven't made before that involves a cooking technique that I'm unfamiliar with or unskilled in, so that I can start to learn that technique. So like a gravy is like a roux pretty much. So learning something like that would be good, because the more skills I learn, like knife cutting skills, like if I can develop these little departments within cooking instead of just looking at cooking as a big word of like, I'm a bad cook. It's like I might be a bad cook, but I know this knife skill, or I know how to make this roux. And then once I collect enough of those little skills, I might start to change my attitude towards the kitchen.
Okay. Awesome. Well, to summarize, what I heard from you today is that you go out and eat, and you enjoy that because you serve people all the time, and you want someone to serve you, and also you felt like it was a time saver. And then, but you want to change that behavior, that habit, into cooking more because you also want to address the values of saving money, learning a new skill, spending more time with your family, learning recipes from them. And we even discovered that you might save time in the long run from developing that skill of cooking. And you have an idea of trying out biscuits and gravy, and I can see you have a very positive attitude, which will go a long way for you in developing this goal. A positive attitude of, yes, I might not know how to cook everything now, but I do know a couple skills, and I can use those to start practicing. And I know that the more I practice, the more I will get to enhancing that skill. And so, yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I'm excited for you and your journey. Yeah. Thanks for coming out today.
Maybe I'll make you some biscuits and gravy and we'll see how it goes.
Nice, perfect.
It could be good.
Well, conflict of interest, but... Yeah.